Set the sails, no bounds we know, through seas where wild winds blow. From sunrise gold to twilight hue, the ocean beats a rhythm true. Mandolin hums as waves collide. Our hearts race fast where dreams abide. Charting maps the stars have drawn, we'll cruise until the night is gone. Ocean to ocean travel, let's lose control. Feel the salt, the freedom roll. Dancing tides, whisper true. Every mile's a world brand new. Shimmering lights paint the scene. Moonlit waters, a silver sheen. Endless blue, our path unrolled. Each trip a treasure of stories untold. Ports call out with colors so grand. Footsteps brush the soft, warm sand. Sip the breeze, taste the foam. Every deck feels just like home. Ocean to ocean travel, let's lose control. Feel the salt, the freedom roll. Dancing tides, whisper true. Every mile's a world brand new.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show. As you can see, we have a group of panelists here, and we are going to talk about the elephant in the room that's been just busting up the internet for the past week, and that is the Carnival Rewards Program. We're going to talk about it tonight, and then we'll just let things play out. But I brought in some experts that kind of know what's going on. And so let's say hey to everybody, and then we will get into the discussion. And first one up is Mr. Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. How are you doing, sir?
Fantastic, Bruce. Glad you invited me here tonight. Let's get it on. I got the salad bar behind me, so if it don't work out right, at least I'll have something to eat.
Awesome. And next up, we've got Richard from No Pants. How you doing, sir?
I'm America, and I've gotten messages from Carnival's marketing team thinking I booked this World America after their disaster because it's their biggest competitor. But no, this has been booked for 2 months. It's just happy timing incident. And I got a call out directly. I got a call out directly from John Held yesterday as the silly that man. So I'll take it. I'm now involved in the actual story.
Nice. Then we got Kurt and Marsha with See Me Traveling. How are you guys doing?
Hey, very good. We're up late.
Up late, yes. Thank you for joining here on the East Coast. And then we got Mike with Clock Family Ventures. How are you doing, sir?
What's going on? When you said the elephant in the room, I thought you were talking about me for a second there. I thought you hit me with a fat joke right off the bat. Just got off the Norwegian Encore on a Alaska cruise.
Yeah, you guys had Alaska is a bucket list. We've done it once. We do want to do it again. We were supposed to be on that cruise, but had to cancel at the last moment. But thank you for joining. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We're just going to kind of get into it, and then I'll kind of be monitoring the chat, and then we will be coming over to say hello a little bit, but I do want to get into it. And I know, Richard, you have dinner here in a little bit, so we want to make sure you give you time also. But
I'm clear tonight. I'm clear tonight.
Oh, you are. Okay. Okay. You're good to go. I do. We'll start with Chet. We'll just go around the horn. Hear your thoughts the very first time. Well, when you first saw the program, and you guys are platinum on Carnival, are you not? As we are.
Yep, been platinum for a few years, and the first initial shock is like, what? What are they thinking? And after I've had some time to think about it, I'll play devil's advocate tonight if I need to, just to maybe guess at why they're doing some of these things. As dumb as they may seem, there is reasoning behind it, I do believe. So I'll try to bring in that point of view, whether I agree with it myself or not.
Yeah, I think they have a reason. So here's a question, and we're going to come to you, Richard. You've had some videos out there, and you've been pretty vocal about it, which is awesome. Do you think, as the program stands right now that they release, as crazy as it seems, do you think they'll change any of it, or you think they're going to keep it as is?
I want to be very clear. I actually know who built their program, who built their software. It's a company that builds casino software, and it has nothing to do with loyalty. All you're looking at right now is a casino comp program. The reason they're taking a year to roll it out is, and this is the thing that has not been said publicly by Carnival yet. I'm going to tell you something that's fun. Is because they have to tie in to the Park West system, to the gift shop system, to the spa system to get those 3% added. That's what's going on, is tying into those systems. This system is good to go. And here's what you don't realize. You have the point side, which was spendable, which is literally just the total number of points. It is an off-the-shelf casino program. It is nothing more than that. They will not change it. What they're going to do, what they should have done, is they should have retracted it on Friday and said, we released a casino program, not a loyalty program. We'll put this as our casino program active right now. We'll have a loyalty program. And, we're going to have to make some changes in that loyalty program. And that's what they're going to do. It will likely take Duffy's resignation to do that. And you're asking if there's going to be a rollback. Here's what's going to happen. And I know this because I know the industry better than any analyst does. The next time they open bookings for a cruise, let's say they open for June 27th, because that's not open yet, or June, the next set. And they're going to make an investor statement. And they're going to say bookings are soft because of the economy. They're banking on the economy going down so they can say bookings are soft. But as soon as they say bookings are soft, Carnival's stock drops 20%. So whether Duffy's around for that or not, there's really no coming back from this. And I don't think they're going to retract it. They won't retract it while Duffy's still the president of Carnival Cruises. Now, I think Mickey Aronson has different ideas, but I think that pretty much answers the question, more than answers the question that you're asking me.
All right. I don't know. I was really shocked when I saw gaming, and I went back and looked. I did go back and look at how much money we normally spend on a cruise, and we would have to do, and we can only cruise really a couple times a year, if we're lucky, 3 times a year, and we're trying to do other cruise lines also. We would only be able to cruise Carnival to be able to keep our platinum status. Where when I went back and looked at typically how much we spend, we'd only be able to do Carnival, and that's not what we want to do. We've been on MSC, we've been on NCL, we're doing Royal, want to do them all, want to do Princess and all the lots. So, unless, even though I don't think it will ever happen because they pretty much said it wouldn't, but it'd be nice if all the cruise lines within the Carnival Corporation matched, and you could use your points wherever you went. But that would never happen because they each have their own program. So
that was the beginnings of their plan. Just so you know, that was this plan, is they were going to roll it out to all 3 lines, and it was going to be reciprocal. How I know that, I can't fully tell you, but yes, that's the plan. Was the plan.
They asked this question back in 2019. John Held asked it, about this type of program. It's out there. It's a question. They found it. I just read it and everything. Then they rolled her in again about it after 2021. I think it's 2022 when they snuck around and asked it again. I don't think the Christine going anywhere. I don't think anybody's changing. As in, I think the program's just going to go. Now, I do think there's going to be some tweaking, but after looking at what there is now, and we're at gold, so I don't think we're going to get anywhere else or anything. But we do cruise carnival sometimes 3 times a year, but it comes down to the casino deals. And as long as they're there, I'll cruise when I can. I've never cruised for that loyalty because like I've said this morning or one morning, our first 4 cruises were a different cruise line. And, and I feel for those that are platinum, diamond and all that, but I just don't think it's going to change. And I don't mind. I mean, being a gambler too, I can see us doing pretty good with this. If we cruise them, if we were a little more loyal, but it's not loyal. It's rewards.
Well, if you look at the loyalty program, what are you really getting anymore?
That's what me and you talked about. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this the other day. What do you really get if you're platinum? Do you get a little? You don't even get a pin anymore. You don't get a dinner. You get 2 drinks and a meal, something like that, and that's it.
Yeah.
So what are you really getting to work so hard and put so much money into platinum or diamond?
I think they've been taking stuff anyway for a while. They've been.
Well, they have. They've slowly been rolling things back for a few years. And so I think they've been building up to this before 2017.
Well, that's
when
why
you really look at it.
Filler questions out there.
What's that?
Those little filler questions they put out there. Yeah. And there was only 23,000 that answered no, they didn't want it to change. Well, that ain't a drop in the bucket for Carnival. I mean, not everybody has, watches, I guess, or listens to John or anything, but that's not a lot of folks to sit and say no. And I guess now there's a petition. Anybody know about that? Heard about this petition that I think they've already got over 1,000 signatures. It's on change.org or something. I don't remember for sure. Have y'all heard about a petition?
Yeah, I heard about
I
it.
haven't.
I did, but petitions are what they are. I think you got to look at this where they're coming from as a business standpoint. I know as a platinum cruiser, I've had a couple of cruises where I go up to get in the platinum line. Priority boarding, guys. That's what I wanted for my platinum. I wanted my priority boarding so I can get on that ship. Well, guess what? I've had a couple of cruises where they said, hey, 80% of the people here are platinum and elite or platinum and diamond. So you're not getting on the ship. Get at the back of the line. And so already what's happened is you can't treat everybody special when everybody's special. So they're looking at the top heavy status of the ships. They're going, there's too many people who are platinum and diamonds. What are we going to do about it? And how can we make money off of it? And that's what really, in essence, of what they had to do. So they're going to this reward system. I don't call it loyalty; it's rewards. How much you spend from now on, and I get it, because when I got platinum, you only had to do 10 cruises. Didn't matter 75 days, which they changed it to shortly after. Didn't have to have 75 days. You could have 10 3-day cruises, 30 days in an inside cabin. Never buy an excursion, never buy a drink, never buy nothing, and bam, you're platinum. And meanwhile, you've got somebody over here that's done 3 or 4 cruises, and they're getting the balcony cabins, and they're buying a drink package, they're buying the Wi-Fi, they're buying excursions, they're spending $50,000 compared to the $8,000 the person who's now platinum is, and they're kind of looking at that like, wow, this isn't adding up either. I mean, you think of it that way if you're a customer. If you're at any other business in the world and you're spending $50,000 and that guy's spending $8,000. Do you think because he came in the store more often that he should be treated on a higher status than you? No, you don't. So think about it from that angle. Once again, I'm devil's advocate, guys. Whether you believe with me, don't hate me. I'm just trying to give you another perspective of this, okay? That's all I'm doing here. So I look at it as, am I going to be platinum in 3 years when this program hits? No, I'm going to be red again because I cannot spend $8,334 a year to Carnival. Like Bruce said, that's going to eat up my entire budget for cruising for the year, whether that's 2, 3, or 4 cruises. That's all of it. I'm not going to do all my cruises on Carnival. I ain't that loyal to them. I want to go on Norwegian. I want to go on Princess. I want to go on Virgin. So I will not be platinum after 2028. And you know what? I don't really care. If I still see a good deal on Carnival, I'm still going to go with them. And if I don't, I'll go with somebody else because I'm Sea Lake Journeys and I'm going to cruise and I'm going to have a good time doing it. I don't care what my status is.
One of the things
Back to y'all.
that touches base with me is the fact that the times are changing. Back when you said all this started changing, Sea Lake, Chet,
Yep.
Nobody was cruising 4 and 5 times a year. Nobody could afford to
You
cruise
mean,
4 or 5 times a
Yeah,
year.
that group. I mean,
I'm saying when he said you could go in and you could go get, take 3 cruises and boom, you're platinum. That I'm
10 3-day cruises.
it was a different type of.
So what I'm saying is like, okay, that was back then when people didn't take 5 and 6 cruises a year.
There was a lot of ships.
You only took maybe 1 cruise a year, and so it did take longer to get to platinum. Now
It was 9 years for us.
Yeah, you have
9
to change
years.
with the times because if they didn't, like you said, you'd have 100% people platinum, and that means nothing.
So I think it's important. A lot of us are gamblers, and we agree this is a game. Realistically, it's to get the gamblers. And if they're angering their loyal members, and you got young people that you want to target, those young people are going to go to Virgin Voyages where there's no drink package limits and there's better food. They're going to go to Royal Caribbean. They're going to go to MSC. If you're a slot
NCL.
player,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just going to be very clear. If you're a slot player, there's no reason. I'm not a slot player, but there's no reason you are not on MSC or Margaritaville at Sea. Those are the only 2 cruise lines you should cruise as a slot player. There is no legal reason these cruise lines should be reporting tax forms when they're not putting their casinos inside of the U.S. Okay? I don't care if you want to talk to like that's the actual legal responsibility. Go to someone that's not going to do that. I hate to say it, but that's the truth. There's MSC. You know this. If you're a gambler, you don't pay taxes and port fees. Your cruises are actually free. That's where things start to get wild. They're going to lose a lot of loyal people. And these young people are not choosing Carnival. Carnival's about to turn from Walmart of the Seas to Kmart of the Seas, I'm pretty sure. And we all know how Kmart was literally in a Sears a couple hours ago. Because they're not going to attract quality customers. They're going to attract more of a get around it. I hate to say it, but when people are booking the cruises on the objective of price, they're not going to attract quality cruises anymore. That's the truth.
Oddly enough, though, their stock went up 6.91% today.
Because they're reporting previous quarter's earnings. Here's the exact words that are going to be said. When the next bookings open up, they're going to say, there is a softening in our bookings. You watch this. People are going to watch the video and they're going to go 6 months from now when they say, our new bookings are softening for 2027. Then the stock drops by 30% overnight.
Well, I'll tell you what there's been going on. There's been an onslaught today, especially. I got phone calls from Norwegian. I'm getting emails from every cruise line, 2, 3 emails today from each one. Some I haven't even cruised on before. Some I have. And then when they're calling me, sending me stuff in the mail, I've never had such an onslaught. It's like they smell blood in the water. So, maybe what you're saying there, Richard, is the other cruise lines are watching Carnival maybe step in their own mess here, and they're going to be there to clean it up, be there to round up all the people.
I mean, I will tell you, this is the first time I'm saying this in public. I've been personally reached out by someone at MSC basically offering me John's job on MSC because of some of the content I've been making. And I just said, I don't work for anyone anymore. I mean, that's the reality that's going on here, is these other cruise lines are just loving this.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, Mike, from your perspective, you've been on Carnival. You're also Diamond, correct, with Royal?
I'm Diamond the Royal, and I get 4 free drinks every time I go, which I'm not a big drinker, so that's enough for me. And I mean, I'm not going to be loyal to other cruise lines because I like to go to all of them. I mean, I like Royals, so it just falls out that I go on a lot more Royal than everything else. But I'm still going to want to go on all the different cruise lines. So I'm never going to get to the right status with Carnival, especially because I gamble. So I'm going to try, if I do a Carnival cruise, it's going to be a cheap one that I can get a casino deal on, or it's going to be a group cruise that I really want to go on.
Yep. All right.
But
Well, let's go over to the chat.
Hold on.
Go
Oh,
ahead, Rick.
on the flip side, with this casino deal. Carnival did already backpedal, and almost nobody realized the backpedal they did. And I caused the backpedal. Me, myself, caused the backpedal. When I put out a video saying this is a replacement for their casino program, which it is, if you watch Christine Duffy's original video, she has said something that everybody has missed. She has said that this program is designed to give you choice. If you notice, something you can buy with your point is a cruise, is a drink package, is other things like that. They're gonna stop the casino offers as soon as this rolls out. That was the original plan: is buy your cruise with your points, and if you only cruise once a year, but you get 100,000 points on your cruise every year, well, guess what? You're automatically diamond, and you can use those 100,000 points to book a balcony cabin on your cruise, and book a drink package, and book Wi-Fi. Christine very clearly said this is about giving people flexibility. If someone can only cruise 1 week a year, but achieves 100,000 points in that 1 week a year, they need to make the rewards different for them. So they can do an excursion every day and everything like that. That's the backpedal they've already done is because that was not the original plan. That's the important thing to understand here. The offers would end June 1st, 2026.
All right, well, let's go over to the chat. Let's just say hey to some people. And then I want to go back to something you just said from a conversation I had on a Facebook page today. But let's check, see who's in here. We got Steady Eddie is in the house. Welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. We got Ross, Orange Cone Vlog. Welcome in. Jennifer and Andrew, Embarkation Nation, newlyweds are in the house. Just got married on the Encore. Welcome in. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening, guys. Will G's in the house. Welcome in. We've got See Me Traveling's in the house. We've got the Moonlight Adventures is in the house. Are you guys in your Tesla right now? I want to tell you what, I don't know if you saw when you guys are live my comment, but because of all your videos, every day Cindy is insisting that we must get ourselves a Tesla now. So with all the bells and whistles like you guys. So I blame you guys for that.
0% for the Model 3. Is it Model 3?
Model 3 and
Model
Y,
3.
0%.
0%.
That's crazy. Hey, Sean, Down Under Cruisers, welcome in. We got Kathy Mills is in the house. Antoinette, glad you made it in. Welcome. We got Marjorie is in the house. We got Ace Blow 1 is in the house. Welcome in. Glad you are here. Just want to quick scroll down, make sure I'm not missing anybody. A lot of people are talking back and forth. Welcome in, Danny D. Danny Dizzle now. Welcome in. Glad you are here. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. We got CNS Travels in the house. We got to get Will. Together We Travel is in the house. Welcome in. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. We've got Haley families in the house. Welcome in. And we've got Matthew Jones says, Chet, you are 100% accurate. Welcome in, Matthew. Hopefully you are happy. And he also says, the last time I checked, I get the most of my money at Walmart when I grocery shop. Just saying. Let's see here. Cruising Koozies is in the house. Welcome in, guys. Glad you are here. Hopefully you are having a wonderful evening. Oh, we bounced. There we go. We've got Cruising Complete is in the house. Welcome in. Glad you are here. And we've got Sea Lake Journeys in the house. We've got Cruising on Comps is here. Welcome in. He knows a lot about gambling on cruise ships. So I would love to hear his take also. Mike is in the house. Welcome in. Let's check. It looks like I might have made it down to the bottom. All right. So I do. So one thing that I was on one of the Carnival Facebook pages together. It's one of the loyalty type Facebook pages, and I did get into a discussion with one of the guys because one thing, he's all for this new awards program and everything, and he's really down anyone that's upset about it and stuff. But he's a huge gambler, and he takes advantage of the casino deals. And I told them, do not be surprised if once this all rolls out, that because that Carnival takes away those casino deals that everyone is getting right now and those comps. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise
I
me.
mean, literally line up the price of the steakhouse in points, convert those points over, and that's the exact number of points you have projected in the casino right now as of today to get a steakhouse. That same number of points is there. Now, I actually like that this brings clarity. As a gambler, you know that a 3-day cruise costs you 10,000 points. A 3-day Bahamas cruise is that's what you're going to pay with Carnival. And they said this clearly. Now, why would they if they weren't going to take away other tops? Christine Duffy is very clearly saying in the video, and we can only go by everything that she publicly said. She said clearly in the video that this is about choice. If you don't drink, maybe you want Wi-Fi on your cruise instead and shore excursions instead of a drink pack. That's literally what the plan is here. And I think the first rollback was their email they sent out on Saturday as a response to a video that I think I put out on Thursday saying exactly what you just said. This is the end of the casino comp program. I hate to say I think a few of us have been on MSC World America. You know that Dr. E, his big catchphrase is book it in the app, book it in the app, book it in the app. Well, guess what? There's not going to be casino hosts anymore. And if you want to get steakhouse for free, well, you need your 5,000 points and book it in the app, book it in the app, book it in the app. That's the reality of what's going on here. Christine clearly said it's about choice. So there's no reason to have the casino program anymore when this is the casino program.
Do you think that, in general, any of you, do you think that this is going to cut down on Carnival cruisers, or do you think that it's just going to bring a whole new group of people in that are going to cruise? I don't see it going down.
I was going to say, not a lot of folks have this much insight, and because I know people that they don't think about their cruise, they book it and then they don't think, they just go on it. I mean, there's a lot of folks like that. They don't get into it as much, and I don't know if loyalty was there anyway. This is no matter what you keep saying. This is not loyal. It's just a reward. Is all it
Right.
is.
Yeah. It's just a rewards program. It's not a loyalty program at all. But people are saying
it's a casino rewards program.
Yeah.
Rewards program.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, will we stop cruising Carnival? No. However, it makes it even more because we wanted to hit platinum with Carnival, and we did that a couple years ago. As soon as we did that, we knew we were going to branch out. So, if we're not going to be platinum in a couple years, then we're not going to be platinum because we're not big gamblers. So it's not, we just don't do it. Not that it's bad for anybody. We just don't do it. We spend our money with other things with the cruise. But so we'll continue cruising Carnival. We probably won't, we're definitely branching out. I love MSC. We did World America. I fell in love with that cruise line with World America. Absolutely loved it. We booked another one that only a couple of people know what that cruise is yet because we haven't announced it yet. But we did book another one while we were on MSC World America. And we plan on booking more because we absolutely fell in love with that cruise line. And we love NCL. We cruised NCL last year. We're cruising with them this year. And then we have one booked for 2027. So, but we have Carnival ones booked too that we'll continue doing. But if we don't, I did it because I wanted to see what having some of those perks. We used to always do Faster to the Fun because I like to do the early boarding. If we go back to having to purchase Faster to the Fun to do the early boarding, then we may have to do that. But the only other thing that we used we would go to the platinum party and everything, but the main perk that we loved is the laundry. We would do Cindy and I each would do probably 2 bags of laundry just before the night before we would pack. It came back the day we packed, and then we would come home with clean clothes. You know, so you know, I never plan on getting to Diamond anyways because we just don't cruise that often, and it would take us like 7 more years with the old program before we'd hit Diamond. So I don't know. So what are your guys?
I mean,
The laundry thing.
yeah, I want to talk about laundry. I just got off a Journeys cruise that was in Greenland. And literally each deck, I went down when they delivered the laundry back. Now Journeys cruise is a 14-day cruise that has mainly Diamond and Platinum. Each deck had at least 5 carts full of laundry to be delivered at 5 o'clock on days. But I mean, I think the most important thing that I think everybody's missing out on here is very simply, Christine admitted in the letter they didn't do something about loyalty sooner. Someone has to fall on that sword. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. They literally said, look, what they should have done retroactively is, okay, if you're on any kind of discounted gambling offer, for every night you get half a night or you get a quarter of a night. That's what they should have done. And you know, they knew this was going to happen years ago. You know, like we were talking about, you know, John's been asking these questions and other stuff like that. I'm paying attention to 100% of what's going on. This is a problem they could have solved years ago by saying, guess what? Casino bookings, just like casino bookings don't get the onboard credit. You know they have this in their system. You don't get the onboard credit for being a loyalty member if you're casino booking. They know if you're flagged as casino booking or not. They could have said 2 years ago, hey, look, now casino bookings only get half a night towards loyalty every year. He said we knew there was a problem and we have to do something about it. She is responsible for causing the problem. She has to go. It's very simple math. She admitted in that letter, whether this takes effect in 1 quarter, 2 quarters, or 3 quarters, she has to go. She's done.
So let me ask you this because I know
It'll be in 2 years or now. Or
you're saying that she has to go, but will she go? Do you think she
It's
will
not will she
resign?
go. The board will remove her. The second the booking softens, she will be removed by the board.
so
It
what
is a
year?
statement of fact.
Saying that this year? This year?
When they open new bookings and those bookings soften, that is, I am a finance expert. That's the industry term they use. They will go, bookings have softened for our new bookings that we've opened. Okay, right now, they're almost fully booked for a lot of stuff. So guess what? To investors, the statement they made today says, hey, going forward, okay, all cruises available open right now, you know, are at least 80% capacity. Well, that's what was up today. The stock's not going to be up until you have another booking window that's at 0% capacity. That's what's going on. Now you're seeing this. I know, look, I'm not a travel agent, but I know a couple of your travel agents here. You know, you're hearing from your customers that they want to cancel their cruises and all that. But those are minuscule. What they'll do right now is they'll send out more casino offers. Like someone's sending out casino offers, they'll send out more casino offers to fill that up. But they're going to have to drop prices and do those other things. When competitors, MSC, this ship that I'm on right now, World America, costs less to book than the Celebration, the Jubilee, or the Mardi Gras. And the drink package is 60% less than the Celebration, the Jubilee, or the Mardi Gras. And if you're in the casino, you're not getting the tax form. And if you're and if you're in the casino, you're not getting cut off at 15 drinks like Carnival. Like, why is Carnival cutting off gamblers from drinking? It's a valid question. No other cruise line, even if they have a limit. Margaritaville at Sea, I did 47 drinks in one day on their 15 drink package. Here, I did 24 drinks the other day. And I'm a big guy. I like my beers and I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Carnival is cutting off. They're doing everything they can to piss off gamblers. I hate to say that. Tax forms, cutting it off, doing all that. Gamblers just turn around and go somewhere else. And especially, like, I hate to say it, but why are you banning fans in your nightclub? The problem with your clientele, but it's not gamblers. Like, the fact that Carnival had to come out and ban hand fans because someone stabbed into somebody else and broke the skin with a fan. Oops, how do I know that guy? It's ridiculous. No other cruise line is banning fans.
Did you say they banned the hand fans, the foldable accordion-looking fans?
Yes. And they have also banned from the sail away party the song Boots on the Ground because it makes certain ones of their clientele too violent. Okay, if you're getting the people that are well-behaved and you're angering them, you're going to get more of the people that you're having to make these rules around bringing speakers and other stuff like that. That's the truth.
That's why MSC folks should be mad because the Carnival folks are coming.
Well, that's
Oh,
what
no,
they're
let me.
saying too.
No. I know you're just kidding, but I made this statement to my group today, and I said very clearly, those of you that have been on MSC security is very different than Carnival security.
Oh, yeah.
The heads of security on MSC do not fuck around.
No,
Okay.
they don't.
They will literally. I have watched, and I have a
They're
video
all
of them,
from
but I
the
decided not to
Baltic
release it.
Russia.
Right, they're
and
all
stuff.
from-
Yeah.
Yeah. I have watched someone who was a troublemaker get beaten to absolute shit by other passengers, and they did nothing to the passengers that beat the troublemaker. And I was like, Carnival wouldn't do that. MSC security does not mess around. I think that's the important thing to understand. And they don't need to make these stupid ones. Look, some people were walking out of the nightclub last night and they brought some speakers in the casino. They weren't bothering anybody. They sell speakers in the gift shop here. You can openly have them. You know, that's the reality. Now, am I afraid of Carnival's bad clientele coming over to MSC? 100%. But MSC is just going to have to raise prices. You know, but
Mike was getting ready to say something a minute ago.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I like
Yeah, I just did prices last night for cruise the third week of June next year, and MSC World America is the cheapest, $33.25 for a family of 4. Mardi Gras and Celebration are right at $4,000, and then you can go on Oasis for $3,900. So Carnival's not any cheaper than Royal right now either, as far as the ships.
But Mike, when you say that, I think the important thing is a lot of people in the forums are still clicking into their Carnival accounts and seeing casino rates, and they're comparing everybody else's rates to their casino rates, and they're saying there's so much more. And when I call people out for that, I'm like, let me see the fully expanded rate, and you can tell it's a casino rate because it's just taxable and board fees.
Oh yeah.
But people won't get that until the casino rates go away. Does that make sense? Because they can't openly compare. They're not going to go to a travel agent and say, can you compare this with no loyalty to with loyalty? You know what I mean by loyalty is like casino loyalty.
Do you think that the other cruise lines are going to sit back and let the dust settle a little bit and then roll out with something similar? Like MSC already has something similar. Because do you get points for things that you purchase?
So MSC
Yeah, we're almost
accelerates
diamond on
spend.
MSC. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I'm on MSC, but I did a couple yacht club cruises at rates, and that's what got me to diamond. You know, I was matched over as gold from Carnival. Here's the
So did I.
thing.
We built our way up. Yeah.
I did
Yeah,
that too, Richard. I did 2 yacht clubs on status match.
Yeah, I mean the simple metric is these other lines are going to wait for this to shake out. You know, Virgin doesn't even really have a loyalty program yet. To be honest with you, they just built a casino program. You know, that's the reality. And I think the thing that Carnival's going to have to do is the thing that Carnival's always lacked that every other cruise line has ever had. And you know, if you're sitting here as a gambler, whether you're going to get a free cruise on Carnival for your next cruise or not, unless you get an onboard certificate, it's a black box. Like on MSC, you know you need 5,000 points and you get a cruise. You know, on Celebrity, you know you need this many points and you get an onboard certificate. If you walk on an elite cruise and you're not an elite cruiser, throw your hands in the air and don't play in the casino because you're playing for onboard certificates against the cruiser. Now, myself, I have determined that I'm not going to sail on Carnival again after separate incidents that happened before this. If I make a video and I actually explain how their casino program works, that if you walk on an elite cruise, you should never gamble, that's going to hurt them. Because that's the truth. There's the black box. And that black box is based on the other people that are playing on your cruise. And, you know, with this new program, at least Carnival's somewhat opening the black box, but then they had to backtrack and say, no, we're not going to take away your free cruises. But do you trust them? That's the real question. Yeah, the cruises you have booked, that's fine. But as of June 1st, 2026, all these other lines, you know, once you get to a certain level, I know exactly what I need on this cruise to do. And, you know, even MSC, I don't know how many of you know this, MSC will roll your points if you're on a back-to-back cruise on the same ship. So I can work towards a yacht club on this cruise because I'm on it for 14 days. No one else does that.
Yeah. I
You have a
still
very
think, though,
cool.
people are bred into this Carnival. I mean, it goes back to, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
But here's
I
my,
don't think they're
okay.
going to leave them. I believe, you know,
Yes,
somebody's
but
parents, and you know,
I agree with you.
I think they'll learn.
Can Carnival attract the new cruisers though that this program is aimed at? or are they going to go to Virgin? Are they going to go everywhere else? Like, if you know the history of Virgin, Virgin, when they came out, and I was on one of the first Virgin cruises, was aimed at young people. And all the young people via the media were scared that they were going to get the illness. I'll just call it the illness on a cruise ship. So they stayed away. And Virgin had to swing their marketing to an older demographic because the young people weren't cruising. Okay. Carnival's food is dog crap compared to everyone else's. Okay. The only reason you don't know that Carnival's food is not bad is because you're drinking. I got cut off from alcohol for 5 days and I had to eat in a steakhouse because the rest of the food is inedible. That's the honest truth. This is probably a term you've never heard of, which is APD. Has anybody ever heard of the term APD? This is an inside cruise ship management term, which is average per person per day. There's average per person per day that you spend to get on board, average per person per day that you spend on board, and there's average per person per day food costs.
Yeah.
Okay. Carnival's food costs per person are lower than some cruise lines' food costs per person per day for think about that for a second. I mean, I can walk right over here and I can get unlimited chicken wings a couple feet to my left right now. And Carnival's charging for them by the pool deck. And as Mike said, this is a cheaper cruise. If they lose the audience they have, they're not going to attract a new audience. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they also got a year to think about this stuff. They can tweak whatever they want. And they can always.
Yeah, they could.
No
but
matter what,
I also
go back to what they were.
I think I agree a little bit with Richard that I honestly don't know if they are going to tweak it. I mean, we'll see.
Well, I wouldn't. If I were them, I wouldn't. But Lord Almighty, if you're going to call it, if they're going to keep some loyal people, whatever you want to call it, they're going to have to give them people a little something, especially Diamond and Platinum. But,
yeah.
They took
as a casino, I like what's going on, and I'll cruise.
And they made a position. They made a position on board the ship because the cruise directors didn't want to deal with this shit anymore. Called loyalty ambassador. Who came up with the idea to call the person on the ship a loyalty ambassador when you don't have a loyalty program? Think about that for a second. Whose genius plan was that? And that's not a new position. They took someone from guest services and said, the cruise director doesn't want to be the punching bag anymore. Sit on this Zoom for an hour and we'll change your name tag. That's literally all they get.
Meet the lady that's head of guest relations there on MSC World America. She's wonderful. We really liked her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She got us the.
She got me the coin. Yeah, got me. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, she's awesome.
But I think the metric comes to if Carnival loses their loyal customers, who knew is going to sail Carnival? They're building new ships. So who's going to sail these old girl ships? Once all the old people that are sailing at casino deals, and I'm 38 and I consider myself an old person, have been to Greenland. I don't want to go to Greenland again. How are you going to get new demographic people to go to Greenland? When you're doing it twice a year on a shift and it's a 14-day commitment, so you have to have time off work to do that. They're not thinking this out.
Yes.
I still think people
And one
they
thing,
go to the store, they go to the same store.
So Marcia, you had said MSC does the same thing as Carnival, except so we cheated and we did do the matching from our platinum, so we got gold on MSC. But as long as we take one cruise every 2 to 3 years, we don't lose that status and we still build. Where with Carnival, if you don't spend, if you want to continue platinum, you're going to have to spend $17,000 every 2 years. If you want to stay diamond, you're going to have to spend $33,000 every 2 years. And so I just don't, I don't know.
Went a little more with
MSC does it right. So what's that?
If I was tweaking this, I would align it a little bit more like the way MSC has theirs. I mean, they almost have it there. They just, some areas, especially those that are higher up, they mess them up.
Well, yeah. And I think one of the biggest things that so many people are complaining about is that you can lose these stars every 2 years and you have to redo it again. That's, it's crazy like that. And that one of the other questions that I've heard it out on YouTube today, plus I have been asked, when you book the cruise, does everyone in your cabin get those same stars or just one? How do they define that?
Yeah, there's no
They
explanation.
don't.
There's not been great explanation on anything yet.
Well-
Yeah, they really haven't.
The only
So-
thing I found John explained in a comment. I don't know if he's talking out his ass or not, and it's annoying because okay, I bring people as my guests on cruises all the time, and yeah, I'm paying the casino rates, but I'm still paying a rate. And I think the important thing to understand is he said is any booking rate to get paid on board is going to get split evenly amongst everyone in the cast. That is the one thing that we know. If you pay a rate to get on board, it is split evenly against everyone in the cast. That is the
See, that's
one
my
fact
problem
we know
too.
about this.
That's my problem too. Like Bruce, you just said, we're going to have to spend $17,000 every 2 years. Well, now if we're splitting it, that means we have to actually spend $34,000 because there's two of us in that cabin.
Yeah.
There ain't no way I'm spending $34,000 in 2 years.
What about
if you have to spend $34,000, just go sail in yacht club on,
Yeah.
or just go sail on Explorer Journeys.
I
For
think
that
those
price,
are
just go
weekly.
sail a much
They'll-
better line that's
they'll-
all
they'll
inclusive.
fix all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll fix all that.
what's that?
I believe they'll fix all that. I was just reading what Lovey said right here. Now, honestly, MSC's probably got endless money. I'll be honest with you. So I don't believe, and yes, I believe they were trying to buy a lot into the U.S. market from what Lovey had read in his comment right here. I think they're just going to keep competitive. They're still between 5 to 8 to 10 years away before they're at the same level as Royal or just say Carnival. Really not far behind at all, behind NCL. And, I look for them to start flirting a little bit more with NCL. They just did a couple of things with NCL recently, working with NCL.
I'm gonna flirt with NCL a little more.
Yeah. We love MCL, and I'll tell you what, if you got family members or whatever, a bunch of friends, and you can book 5 cabins in NCL is the only one where you can do a group with 5 cabins. The amenities that you get with that group is unmatched by anyone else in the industry. And so, and they just raised it to now, you get 3 specialty dinings if you're in a balcony or above. You get now the drink package is the premium drink package where you get their top shelf alcohol instead of the lower. So, I love NCL and MSC. I've only been on one cruise, but that one cruise, they're become one of my favorites just in that. And I can't, as I do more, then I will make a better judgment. But I love MSC from what I've seen so far. I do want to quick go to comments because I've been neglecting in that. And this was a while ago, but Cruising with Con says if the program holds, it is a home run for gamblers. Hey Z, welcome in. See that you are here. Thank you so much. And Matthew says, I'm going to give Richard a that a boy, and you skip over. Let's see. Cruising Koozie says those CEOs don't care what the people say about what they did with status. Heck, they treat us like drug dealers, making us line up and get sniffed by dogs.
Have any of you ever been sniffed on any other cruise lines? We walked on MSC, no problem. Have any of you ever been sniffed on non-Carnival
On
cruises?
MSC, yeah. No, let's see.
I wasn't sniffed on MSC. I don't know.
Not on the MSC. No, before we got on the terminal, they stopped
Yeah.
at her.
The dog hit on me like I had drugs. I was like, no, there's nothing there. I swear.
It was her.
Yep, check her.
Brings her passport in. Yeah.
Strange.
Little
Yeah, I've never seen dogs other than Carnival, and I got on MSC 4 days ago in the same terminal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embarkation Nation says, I feel like I will cruise Carnival less. Already cruising less with them the last few years, but see me as right. Others may not care.
Mhm.
That's true. I mean, Carnival's still going to have their loyalists, even if Carnival isn't as loyal to them, if you consider that even being loyal. But they're still going to have the people that are going to cruise no matter what on them. And then Sean with Down on the Cruiser says the question is this a reward program just for the U.S.? Us Aussies are more impacted because we have watered down Carnival experience here. I don't think it's just in the U.S. I think it's going to be across the board.
Yeah.
Richard, right?
The only thing that I've heard is restricted is the credit card. Well, the credit card doesn't apply outside of the countries where you can get the credit card. But that's another factor. I mean, we want to talk about predatory. The thing that you don't know that they're taking away too. Oops. You know why they're pushing the credit card so hard? Because they're taking away that flex payment system that they have right now.
Oh yeah, that's awful.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of things they're not saying unless you read in between the lines. Why do we push the credit card so hard? Also, they take away the flex payment system. Remember when they used to be able to get the gift cards at a discount? Or when you used to be able to use an unlimited number of gift cards, not limiting your number of gift cards. You know, the gift cards are how certain market that goes to Carnival, they save up, they ask for Carnival gift cards for their wedding, and now, you know, you can't use more than these 6 gift cards. Well, then they can't put all these $50 gift cards together on their plates. You know, that's the reality of it. It's crazy. I don't think they've thought through. I mean, they can't even answer simple questions about this program. John Held promised a detailed FAQ a few days ago. We're Tuesday night. Where is that? You know, they go, Richard, how are you talking like you know more than a company that has 160,000 employees? Well, in that flashy crap we saw on Wednesday, what have those 160,000 employees done?
Hey, Keisha, welcome in. Here you go, Richard, from Matthew. So after one bad decision, no, my words, she needs to go. Give her a chance to fix it.
It's not one bad decision. What happened to 24-hour pizza, then 4 a.m. pizza, then 2 a.m. pizza, then midnight pizza? You know, I mean, I can even show your audience. I don't know if I can switch to the back camera. I'm trying to turn. I mean, you should see what the pizza looks like on MSC. I'm a few feet away from it.
Oh, it's good.
Disgusting. No. But you know, in Carnival, you're waiting in line like an animal for 20 minutes to get a bad slice of pizza. Here, I'm walking a couple of feet, and there's hot and ready pizza.
Oh, it's constant.
Right
They keep
here.
enough people there to do it.
I'm saying
They don't
keep
just
enough
use
people to
2
do it.
people. Yeah, Carnival does need to fix that badly.
Yeah, and that
You know-
pizza is good too. That
And you know,
pizza is good on
even
Road
for
America.
gamblers, when you're looking for gamblers want something to eat after the casino closes, and that garbage they have, pay on Carnival is trash.
Hey, Lovey, welcome in. Says this was part of the comment you were talking about, Kurt. Says this was planned 3 years ago. Not
I
a
think
knee-jerk
they've been
decision.
fishing
Everyone at
for a while,
Carnival
yeah.
knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Well, they had to know it was coming because, like I say, we as Platinum, we couldn't embark early because there was 80% of the ship was Platinum. They knew this was a problem years ago, and
Oh yeah,
and also
and
even dining.
they've
you're
slowly
supposed to have
been, like you
priority
said
dining.
earlier. Yeah, like you said earlier, they've slowly been rolling things back of what you can do anyway. So
And the other thing to look at too is dividends. They haven't paid dividends on their stocks since COVID. So they've had this huge debt. They got to still repay this debt before they can start paying dividends. And I'm sure there's a lot of big wheel shareholders that are saying, "Hey, we're going to sell all of our crap, or else we need to start making some money on our money. We can't just put our money in there and let it just sit there." You know what I'm saying? And just depending on prices going up, they want dividends. So I'm sure there's some heat from that also, and that's why the platinum gifts are going away, the platinum parties going away. You notice there's no mention of priority tenders anymore either for platinums because there's just too many of them. So they're looking at a two-pronged problem. There's just we can't give you exemplary service, treat you special when everyone on the ship is special. You know, everyone's number one. You know, somebody's got to change something. Maybe the other answer was to change the levels to say, okay, platinums, we're going to break y'all up into, pre-platinum, regular platinum, and old platinum or something. I don't know what the real answer would have been. But
Oil added another layer. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, and I do agree that something had to be done on the Jubilee. When we were on the Jubilee, a quarter of everyone on the Jubilee, or no, it was more than that. It was almost half, was either platinum or diamond. There was so many of them, and that was, granted, that was on the inaugural, or not the inaugural, but just a few months after it started rolling out. So, you know, I mean, I know they had to do something, but yeah, but what they've rolled out just makes zero sense. Again, if you're trying to do loyalty, but it's not a loyalty program, it's just a reward.
Right. It's no loyalty. No, it's not loyalty. It's rewards now. we got to come to grips with the terms of what it is. It's not loyalty anymore. It's rewards.
Yeah.
How much can you spend?
Think anybody else is going to change their rewards? Or, okay. I just wonder, do you really think anybody's really looking at it because of this?
That's good. That's a good question, and I don't know. They might have been, but after the backlash that Cardinals get right now, they might change their mind.
Yeah,
because it seems like what's that?
Royals already put out commercials saying, "Don't worry, we got you over here."
Hey, I see a comment over here that they could have said platinum and diamond will match and send you over to Princess or Holland. They're having the same problem. I'm platinum on Princess too, and there's no more Princess separate service lines or anything. They're getting top heavy too. So it wouldn't have solved the problem to say, hey, we're going to let y'all spread out to Holland and P&O and Princess because they're top heavy too. So I expect the changes will come to other cruise lines.
But think about this for a second. What if you just, this is going to sound insane, but what if you just retroactively took all the status away from gamblers and then made the gamblers re-earn their status? You wipe out all the nights that you earned booking. I hate this idea, but wipe out all the nights you earned on a discount sailing and then give you the ability to earn it back. And then everybody who actually earned it on a full price sailing, well, they get to keep their status. That's an interesting way to think of it. I just came up with this right now because you've given gamblers an insane ability and you've made a great casino program. So gamblers shouldn't be angry. Take away the status. You know, I will tell you, I have 238 nights. I'm a diamond member. 9 of those nights were made on non-casino offers. 9 nights ever. So bring me back down to 9 and make me earn it. But the people who earned it as advertised,
we figured it out the first day. Being gamblers, we figured it out the first day that this was good because you know we go to Caesars and different. And I figure I'm sure Mike Clark did too, and those that do gamble figure. I'm sure you did too, Richard. You knew it was.
Yes, but
like
I get it.
Here on land.
But no. Can I like what you're saying, and I've already said this before. Yes, but I have better places to spend my gambling money than Florida.
Yeah.
That's the reality. That's the reality. I can go to a place that's going to have pizza until 2 o'clock in the morning. That's going to give me room service for free. That's going to put me in a yacht club. Okay, Carnival does not have a single suite on any of their ships. That's not a goddamn gym. Okay, Carnival doesn't employ a single butler. Think about that.
That's true.
Think about that. If you're trying to get a high-end gamblers, Carnival does not employ a single butler in their entire company. How are you going to get high-end gamblers? Are you a moron? I'm not saying you guys, but I'm saying Carnival's thinking they're going to get high-end gamblers, and there's not a single butler in their entire company. Think about that. Caesars has butlers. MGM has butlers. When you don't have a single butler in your entire company and you're trying to get people to be spending a minimum of $33,000 per person to get the status, come on, man.
Cruising on Comps kind of said the same thing as a gambler, that he didn't really care about the status. It's all about what you get when you're gambling. That's the whole point of it.
Cost versus value perspective. And there's just nothing Carnival offers for status that's attractive. Yeah, that's us. It never was. Only thing I wanted was to be able to get on that ship early, possibly. But you know what? We bought Faster to the Fun once. I loved it.
Yeah.
Throw the point at that or something.
Yep. And hey, Scott, I didn't say hey to you when I popped you up, so welcome in, sir. And here's Lovey says MSC is taking the U.S. as a loss for now to compete with everyone else. Europeans are paying for those ships.
Mm-hmm.
Good, yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, MSC's
here you go. Kurt is correct that probably 90% of people that sell Carnival probably have no idea this has been happened
Oh,
yet.
I know plenty of folks feel that way.
Well,
I've
and you'd
said
be
it, and they feel it.
surprised. I was surprised when I was going through the different Facebook pages of how many people were on there. Like, what did Carnival do when they were seeing all the discontent? They didn't know, and I'm thinking, what, are you living under a rock? I mean, if you knew about it, but yeah. So, hey, Lori Barber, welcome in. Glad you are here. And then Will G says they should have added more tiers. Will G's diamond with Carnival.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah,
in a comment
how many
later
nights
that
do you have to have for diamond?
200.
What's that?
days
700.
diamond.
To get for Royals top tier, it's 720 nights. So I mean, yeah, they definitely should have spaced it out more or something.
Yeah, it's only 200 on Carnival.
And again,
Yeah.
when we asked who signed the letter that said we screwed up with loyalty, again, it's not their loyalty ambassador. Who signed the letter? You have to ask that intrinsically.
Like, and like
Will-
I told you before, you only had to have 30 days to be platinum back when I started. You only had to have 10 cruises, and they could be 3-day cruises. So think about it, platinum in 30 days. I mean, you can do a 3-day cruise every month. You're only missing 1 day of work, and you can get them for, $179 back then. And easily in 2 years, you could have done it if you'd really set your mind to it.
Yeah.
I
And
just
here's
love
a
his
really
last-
good point.
2 years ago, everyone was talking trash on MSC. Great to hear they've turned around. Yeah, I like that too, because we love MSC.
Yeah, read the last comment of Lovey. It's the second one from the bottom there, I believe. Now, I've always thought this. We are a very small niche community. Yeah.
And he has 20 other family members that don't watch videos or are part of Facebook groups. They cruise every couple of years and not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Right? They don't care.
Oh, Will G's only platinum. I'm sorry, Will. I thought that you were diamond. And welcome in, Chris. Glad you are here. And Lori Barber says, I really think it's a smoke screen for the opening of Celebration Key. They want to all confused.
Well, if they
That-
should have rolled
that
it
is
out, they
actually
should have
true.
rolled it out now.
If you knew the state of Celebration Key, oh my God. It is a smoke screen. I mean, like, wait until if you want to talk about something that people aren't going to know, wait until people know that they can't go through the buffet line more than once on Celebration Keys. Okay. Oh, you don't know about this?
No.
Oh, this has been publicly discussed. You're going to be given a coupon to go through the buffet line on Celebration Key. You must bring that coupon to go through the buffet line. And that coupon, if you decide you don't want to go through the buffet line, will give you a percentage off of some other food there. This is written on Celebration Key's website. Nobody reads the footnotes. Nobody reads what goes on. You see they have one included dining venue, which is like the buffet line. There might be multiple copies of it. So you have to turn in this coupon to go there.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And remember, even though you have to buy your drinks, they count against your 15 drinks on board because Carnival still hasn't separated that system. So even if you have a drink package and you have, let's say you have 5 on the island, then and you pay for those 5, you only have 10 included when you get on board. Celebration Key is going to be an absolute shit show. I plan on going out in Ocean Key just to make fun of that. As weird as it sounds, I'm doing a MSC for VIFP, which is a series of shorts just showing how this ship compares to the Carnival ships. And it's not even funny. And I'm comparing this ship to Carnival's newest ship. But I mean, realistically, you're going to have this thing. I'm not making this up. Go on Celebration Keys website. And it says it clearly that you're going to have a ticket to go through the buffet. You can go through once. And then you can trade that ticket in for 25 or 30% off of one of the paid restaurants if you don't want to go through the buffet. They're taking nickel and diming to the island to a further extent than they've ever done with Princess K or Half Moon K.
That is the one thing I really enjoy about the private island with MSC
Oh, yeah.
is because when you get off, it doesn't matter how many you drink, and they're all included in the drink package. I mean, I do like that part.
And Wi-Fi works on the island too.
Yep.
That's something that MSC and Virgin have. No one else has that.
Now Royal has it too.
I haven't been to Celebration. I haven't been to the other one yet. I'm going in
Coco.
September. So
Yeah.
I apologize for that fact that I haven't been there. I've missed Coco Cay 4 times because of weather.
You know, and Carnival announced that they're going to update down there in Honduras. They're planning putting a lot of money into these little private areas. That's theirs.
That way they can nickel and dime you a little bit more each time.
Oh, I don't know, but I just know they announced that they're going to, put more money into them.
This is something that I completely agree with about the drink package not working, because I do know with NCL we went to
Great Stirrup Cay.
Great Stirrup Cay, and the drink package worked on Great Stirrup Cay.
With
And-
Princess, it works too.
On Princess.
Yeah, Princess, it works on the private islands too.
So
But
it's
it's
crazy
really-
that
It's the same.
Yeah.
Why don't it work then for Carnival?
Well, on MSC when we were on there, now I heard that it's going to change, and I could be wrong even as we speak. But
Oh yeah, it
when
is.
we were on there, we could go up and get 6 shots, one for everybody at our table.
Yeah.
Bring it back, and nobody was
So-
like,
so-
"Okay, you can
so-
only get one every 5 minutes."
So
Yeah.
no, there's no limit. They do have a 15 limit now. But I was with a friend the other night, and they are enforcing it.
Oh
But if
really?
you're
Already?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It changed
And-
right after our
And
sailing.
now, let me back it up for a second. This person and me both took the drink package after December 2024. Now, I went to go get, any of you that are gamblers know, if you're a qualified gambler on MSC, you can go get a sticker on your card the first day. So I went to the casino host to go get a sticker on my card. I go, are they going to cut me off after 15? He goes, no, that only applies for the rest of the ship. As long as you're gambling, you're good. Now, I went and tested it last night. So there was a guy next to me, right at me, that was playing bubble roulette with me, automated roulette with me, and he had already been cut off. But he had a drink package. Now, he was not a known gambler. I'm just giving you this as a fact that happened last night. He just ordered a Long Island right next to me and had no problem getting it. The simple metric is, I think that's something that pisses off a lot of Carnival gamblers too. No other line is going to cut you off in the casino other than the Carnival lines. That's a fact. I mean, I was on Margaritaville last week. I did 40 something shots, something drinks on a 15 drink package. That's the reality. And it might be because of Carnival's clientele.
Lovey said what I was thinking. Yeah.
If you don't act stupid, there's no reason to cut you off.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the Carnival cruisers there, right?
And you know what? I agree with you 100%. And when you take the people, look, let me ask anybody here, okay? Anybody sitting in this audience right now, have you ever been cut off in the casino on Carnival? When I'm cut off in the casino, you know what I do? I leave the damn casino because they don't want my loyalty if they're going to cut me off in the casino.
Right.
They want you drunker the better in the casino. And look, we have to be perfectly honest. This is a casino program, okay?
Mhm.
People said that the Carnival Rewards favors the casino. Well, you want gamblers, then you're going to cut a gambler off on a C day after 15 drinks when they have 5 mimosas with breakfast. They have, 2 drinks with dinner. They have some in the afternoon. By the time they get to the casino, they're at 14 drinks.
Yeah.
What do you think those gamblers are going to do the first time they're cut off?
That's
They're going to
how
say, fuck this,
yeah.
fuck this. I'm going to a line that doesn't.
Yep.
I hate to say it.
Cruising on Comp said cutting off the drink package is certainly a result of Carnival not trusting their customers.
Well, in their defense, there are a lot of Carnival customers that misbehave when they hit that drink
Wait,
package.
now we did see that on our MSCC side. We saw 2 big fights, one real bad one, and then a lot of, I don't know why, and it was just a 4-nighter, but that was one of the, if that would have been my first MSC,
We
I
would've
don't know.
gone
I don't
back.
know. And I've said it. And that's the time that they failed. They got the lowest score health wise and all that stuff back then. We were on that ship and it really, they deserved it, but still beautiful ship. We still had fun. But I even told her, I said, wow, it really changed. We'd done like 3 Carnival ships right before we had started back on MSC. And, it just had changed in like a year and a half. So this was in 2023 to 24, 23.
Mhm.
And I was like, golly, it's changed.
And when you get rid of your loyalty members, even if it's just 10%, and what replaces them is those problem people, Do you think more people are going to leave? That's
Oh,
the
yeah,
real
yeah.
reality. I'm afraid. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm afraid to step into the nightclub on most carnival ships. I'm not afraid to step into the nightclub on any MSC ship. Do you know how many security guards are in the nightclub on an MSC ship? Oh yeah, 0. When's the last time you walked into a nightclub on a carnival ship? There's at least 20 security guards in there. And I was told directly by a hotel director the reason the pizza had to close early is because they didn't have enough security guards to secure both the pizza and the nightclub.
That happened. I haven't really seen them in.
I've seen more
yeah,
fights over the food at night than I
than
have
anything.
than I have any drinks.
Yeah.
So when they get ready to close the deli, family is fighting.
Yeah, we
I
saw
mean,
that.
I was like, it's just a sandwich. You'll get another one tomorrow.
Yeah, that was even family. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'll tell you a rumor I've heard, and I'm just going to call it a rumor because legally I think that's the best thing for me to do. Carnival's about to, this is the rumor I've heard, that Carnival's about to ban family reunion shirts because those groups of people fight more than anyone else. There's these families that get together and meet each other again for the first time in 5 or 6 years, and someone sleeps with someone's wife and stuff like that. I'm dead serious. There are rumors that Carnival's about to ban family reunion shirts. I know that sounds wild, but it makes sense when you trace the fights.
I'm not sure the shirts is the reason they're fighting, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand the shirts are not the reason they fight, but if you can't have the shirts, they're more unlikely to book that cruise.
I would rather
mean,
keep the shirts. They're easier to identify that way. I wouldn't ban the shirts.
I mean, that
Honestly,
big Galveston fight that happened, we were all wearing family reunion shirts.
Yeah, I would not ban the shirts. I'd keep them there that way you can identify them. Hey, it was a Smith family, all of them. Ban them all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. Well, thank you everyone for joining. We ran over. I apologize, Nancy. Everyone go over and make sure you check out Nautical Nurse Nancy. They have a great show. And so her and her husband, Anthony. So go over and check them out. I want to thank the panel, everyone, for coming on with all of your expertise and great conversation. And it will be one that will continue. And thank you for everyone with all your comments and questions and everything in the chat. We greatly appreciate it. Everyone have a wonderful evening. We will see you next week. And until next time, happy travels. We'll see you
See
out
you
there.
around the channel.